my name is Nanesha. I'm from 5F class of English Language Education. In this video, I will create a short monologue about teaching strategy, and I will explain the way to teach my students if I were a teacher in the future. The strategy that will be used is emphasized on reading and writing skills, and the method that will be used is grammar translation method. And in this method, I use two techniques. The first one is deductive application of rule, and the second one is memorization. In this strategy, the students will be taught about the use of verb to in simple past tense in the sentence, and it will be implemented in first grade of junior high school in English class. But before we talk about the step of this implementation, I will explain the method first. Grammar translation method, or GTM, is the method that emphasizes on teaching grammatical rules in reading and writing rather than listening and speaking. It means that GTM is focused on the form of language rather than the meaning, and it also focuses on the correctness of the grammar and the rules of the language. In this method, using native language in teaching process is tolerated because the students will be more understand about the material, and this method is used to introduce the grammar to the student. Talk about the implementation of this strategy. In this implementation, I need some tools such as whiteboard, word marker, and eraser. And I also copy some text according to the number of my students in the class, and it is used for reading media for them. Okay, now we talk about the step of this strategy. First, I will give text for my students. It is a report text. It is using simple present tense because before this meeting, my students already learned about simple present tense. After that, I asked to my students to read the text and find some verb on the text, and they have to make a list of those verbs. Then after they finish reading and make some verb, I asked to my students whether they know or not about the meaning of those verbs, and I will explain it using native language so that my students more understand about the meaning of those verbs. And then I give my students about the verb to, of those verbs in the whiteboard. I will write it, and they have to remember it, and I will erase it. After that, I will explain the way to use verb to in simple past tense. After that, I also explain about the formula of simple past tense, and they have to remember it again. After they remember and understand about the simple past tense, they have to try to make some sentences of simple past tense using those verbs that they have found before. They have to write it on the paper, and after they finish about the task, we will discuss it together. Why I choose this activity? Because this activity it can improve the students' reading and writing skills in one meeting. So it's very simple to teach my students about the grammar of English. For the last, I will explain about the strengths and the weaknesses of this strategy. As I said before, that this strategy is very useful to improve the students' reading and writing skill because they have to learn about grammar through the book or the text. And besides that, it can help the teacher to teach easily in the class because the teacher just explain about the grammar and give the example and ask the student to remember it. So the teacher do not think too hard, do not need to think too hard the way to teach them in the class. While the weaknesses of this strategy, it makes the students passive in listening and speaking skills. Why? Because they have to write and read something more often, and they forced to remember or memorize the grammar or the verb, rather than use the language to communicate or to speak. So when they want to speak, they will think too hard or think too much about the correctness of the grammar, and they do not know whether they pronounce the word correct or not. Okay, so that's all that I can explain and share for you. I hope this video will help the teacher to teach in junior high school, because it is very suitable to teach English for beginner learners. Thank you for watching and goodbye.